Global greetings to all my friends. In this video, we are going to study Chapter 6, The Beginnings of Indian Civilization, which is a very interesting chapter from our social science book. Let's start. Civilization. A civilization can be defined as an advanced level of social development. Civilizations began when the early farmers started to produce more food than was actually required. This gave them the opportunity and time to pursue occupations other than farming, such as pottery making, weaving, and spinning. The products of these were exchanged in barter, which led to trade. This, in turn, led to a more developed lifestyle from that of hunter gatherers and early farmers to producers and traders. Life changed from that moment. Life changed from that of a nomad to a settled lifestyle. Features of a civilization. A civilization is marked by the presence of some features as listed here. The rise of towns and cities and their management. The social and economic divisions in society as some groups or people become more powerful. The existence of trade relations with both local and distant areas. The emergence of some form of government to, to manage a more complex society and its many activities. The division of labor, which leads to people getting specialized in certain types of work. Production of finished goods like ornaments and tools from raw materials like stones and metals. The emergence of a written language to maintain records and to communicate. Engagement in activities such as pottery making and weaving, along with farming and domestication of animals. Development of art, architecture, and literature. The earliest civilizations. Civilizations began at different times in different parts of the world. The Mesopotamian civilization, the Egyptian civilization, the Indus Saraswati civilization, and the Chinese civilization are the earliest civilizations of the world. These civilizations began at different times in different parts of the world. All these early civilizations developed along the banks of rivers and are also referred to as river valley civilizations. The Mesopotamian civilization, which emerged between the two rivers Tigris and Euphrates in modern day Iraq, was the oldest of all the river valley civilizations in the world. It is also called the cradle of civilization. The Egyptian civilization flourished along the river Nile in Africa. The Chinese civilization emerged around the river Huanghe. The Indus Saraswati civilization flourished along the banks of the rivers Indus and Saraswati. Please observe figure 6.1 timeline showing the period of Indus Saraswati civilization about 2600 to 1900 BCE. The Indus Saraswati civilization. The Indus Saraswati civilization was the earliest civilization in the Indian subcontinent. It flourished roughly between 2600 and 1900 BCE. The Indus River and its tributaries flow through the vast plains of Punjab, today divided between India and Pakistan, and Sindh in Pakistan. Few thousand years ago, another river, the Saraswati, used to flow from the Himalayas through Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan, and Gujarat. These both rivers made those plains fertile and therefore favorable to agriculture. Most of the sites of the Indus Saraswati civilization developed around the banks of river Indus and its tributaries and river Saraswati. This civilization is called by different names such as Sindhu Saraswati civilization, Indus civilization, Indus Saraswati civilization, and Harappan civilization. Its inhabitants are called Harappans because city of Harappa was the first of this civilization to be excavated in the year 1920 to 21. It is one of the oldest civilizations in the world. We also call this development as the first urbanization of India. Please observe figure 6.2 main settlements of Indus-Saraswati civilization. Discovery. In the 1920s, excavations were carried out at Harappa and another site, Mohenjo-daro, which was the second site to be discovered. Both these sites are now in Pakistan. The ruins of Harappa were discovered along the banks of river Ravi, which is a tributary of Indus. Mohenjo-daro, which literally means Mound of the Dead in Sindhi, is located in the Larkana district of Sindh province in Pakistan. Many other sites were discovered in the Indus Plains. That is why the civilization was initially called Indus Valley Civilization. Later on, many other major cities were discovered, such as Ganveriwala in the Cholistan desert of Pakistan, Dholavira in Gujarat, Rakhigarhi in Haryana, and Ropar in Punjab. Hundreds of smaller sites such as Lothal in Gujarat were also discovered. The big cities of Rakhigarhi and Ganveriwala and several smaller cities such as Farmana, Bhirana, and Banavli in Haryana and Kalibangan in Rajasthan were part of the Saraswati basin. Fact file. The Saraswati River shows the figure shown in figure 6.2 is nowadays called Ghaggar in India and Hakr in Pakistan. Thus, it is also called Ghaggar Hakr River. This river is now seasonal and flows only during the rainy season. The Saraswati River is first mentioned in Rig Veda and later in Vedic and post Vedic texts. This text The text worships Saraswati both as a goddess and a mighty and powerful river. Later, Vedic text also the Mahabharata mention that river dried up and disappeared. Main features of Indus Saraswati civilization. Town planning. All remains indicate that the Indus Saraswati civilization was an urban civilization. Excavation of several of the cities reveal that towns and cities were well planned and utilitarian in style. The cities were divided into two parts: the citadel, which was raised on a ground, and the lower town, which was at a lower height. In some places, defense walls were erected all around the city. These walls were strong and laid with interlocking bricks. It is to be noted that the bricks were so well made that they have lasted thousands of years later till date. Citadel. The citadel was the raised part of the cities. In most cities, the citadel may have been the administrative block. It is believed that the ruling class of towns, like the wealthy merchants and the high priests, lived in the citadel. The citadel was protected by walls. Important buildings of the city, such as the Great Bath and Assembly or Town Hall at Mohenjo-daro and the granaries at Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, were built on the citadel. Fire altars have been discovered at Kalibangan and Lothal. These were probably used for domestic or ritualistic purposes. The Great Granary at Harappa was one of the largest buildings in the city. It is believed that it was used to store surplus food grains. The granaries were built close to the river bank to enable easy transportation through boats. There were circular brick platforms for threshing grains. Near these granaries, cracked grains have been found on threshing floors indicating that the Harappans grew wheat and barley. A similar granary was also found in Mohenjo-daro. The Please observe figure 6.3, the Great Granary Harappa. The assembly or town hall unearthed in Mohenjo-daro is an area measuring around 27.5 meters square. Inside, there are 20 square brick pillars arranged in 4 rows. Floors are stripped and they slope from the south to the north. Each strip of flooring had a row of bricks that was set on the edge along both sides. The Great Bath at Mohenjo-daro was another important building. It resembled a large pool with two flights of steps down to a brick-lined bottom. It has entrances, a central bathing pool, galleries, and dressing rooms. Burnt bricks were used in the construction of the Great Bath. It was made watertight by applying bitumen. The bath was filled from an adjacent well with fresh water and then the water was drained out through an outlet during one corner. The Great Bath was probably used during religious ceremonies. Please observe figure 6.4, the Great Bath. Lower Town. The Lower Town seems to have been where the common people lived. It had smaller buildings and houses. The Lower Town was divided into rectangular blocks by wide roads that cut each other at right angles. The remains of brick houses can be seen here. There was an efficient drainage system and provisions were made for street light. All the rooms of residential houses opened into the courtyard. Thick walls kept the rooms cool during summer. To keep out dust and noise, windows never opened into the main street. The side windows let in air. The houses had flat roofs and were either single storied or double storied. Most houses had bathing bathing places, and drains. The houses were made of baked mud bricks. These bricks were superior in quality to the sun-dried bricks used in other civilizations. The most surprising part was that every brick was of the same size. Observe figure 6.5, the civilization ruins showing the streets and drains. Water management. The water management system is one of the most important features of this civilization. It was highly advanced. The kitchens and bathrooms had drains leading out and were connected to the street drains. The main drains ran alongside the main roads and were lined with bricks. Most of the drains were covered. The drains had inspection holes at regular intervals to clean them. People drew water from hundreds of wells in the cities of Mohenjo-daro. Ponds, streams, and human-made reservoirs may have been the source of water in other regions. Remains of many man-made reservoirs have been found at the Dholavira in Gujarat. Most of these reservoirs were connected through underground drains for better water distribution. Observe figure 6.6, drainage system, and figure 6.7, a water reservoir at Dholavira site. Occupations. Agriculture. Agriculture was most likely the primary occupation in the Indus Saraswati civilization. The soil was very fertile and farmers cultivated two crops a year. They knew different methods of irrigation. They used plough and sickles. They were first to grow paddy. Their crops comprised of wheat, barley, rice, and millets. A large number of animals and fish bones have been found during excavations. This shows that the Harappans also domesticated a number of animals for meat consumption and practiced fishing as well. Trade and commerce. Trade and commerce were significant occupations. The people of the Indus Saraswati civilization traded both within the civilization and with other civilizations. This information is based on the fact that a large number of Indus Valley seals have been recovered in Mesopotamia. Mesopotamian seals have also been found at Harappa. Remains of a trading post have been found in the northern Afghanistan and a port in Lothal, which also suggests that trade was active. Sticks with marks to measure articles and various weights measures have also been found at several sites. Silver, copper, lapis lazuli, and turquoise came from Western or Central Asia. Copper came from the mines of present day Rajasthan and tin from modern day Afghanistan. Craft production. The other occupations that were seen in the Indus Saraswati civilization were weaving, pottery, metalwork, toy making, jewelry, designing, bead making, crafting, and stone cutting. Although most of their food came from farming, the Harappan people hunted, fished, and gathered fruits. Harappan people were skilled in the use of the potter's wheel. Making terracotta toys, figures of animals, and other such designs was a thriving trade. The people were also skilled in the art of spinning and weaving. They made woolen cloth from sheep and goats' hair. The pottery was made up of fine clay and had black designs on a red background. Various seals, pottery, gold and silver jewelry, and detailed figurines in terracotta, bronze, and steatite have been unearthed at the sites. Sculpture making. The sculptures were made in stone, metal, and terracotta. A number of female figurines made of terracotta have been found at several sites. They were probably symbolic of the mother goddess. The bronze statue of a female dancing figure found in Mohenjo-daro is regarded as the greatest piece of art of this civilization. The toy carts made of terracotta are also fairly well known objects. The stone sculpture of a bearded man from Mohenjo-daro is another well known piece of art. Various models of terracotta carts depict the use of bullock carts. Observe figure 6.9 in the Saraswati pot, figure 6.10 10 sculpture of a bearded man, and 6.11 bronze statue of a dancing girl. Seals. Almost 2000 seals have been excavated from different sites of the Indus Saraswati civilization. They are flat, square, and rectangular and are made of terracotta or steatite. They are decorated with animal motifs such as elephants, buffaloes, tigers, and most commonly, unicorns. They provide a lot of information about the daily life of the people, their religion, occupations, customs, and trade. These seals were probably used by merchants and traders to stamp their goods. Many of the seals are also inscribed with short pieces of the Indus script. Observe figure 6.12 seal from Indus Valley sites. Religion. No temple structures have been excavated in the Indus Saraswati civilization. The people are believed to have worshipped the mother goddess and a form of Pashupati, Shiv. Both these figures represented fertility. Some seals depict a man sitting in yogic position surrounded by animals, which is very similar to the Hindu god Shiv. They appear to have been familiar with some form of yoga and meditation, and as depicted on the seals. The peepal tree and the bull were regarded as sacred. The Indus people might have been superstitious as they believed in magical rituals, charms, and amulets. They may have believed in life after death, as burial sites have been unearthed where the dead and are buried along with food and ornaments. Fact file: no traces of iron have been found in the Indus Saraswati civilization. The people of the civilization used bronze, which was produced by mixing copper with tin. Achievements: unit of measurement. The people of the Indus Saraswati civilization were among the first to develop a system of uniform weights and measures. The bricks they made were also in uniform size and were also uniform in size and shape. Town planning. The unique feature of the Indus Saraswati civilization was the way in which the towns were planned. The cities followed a grid system. The main streets ran parallel to each other, cut at right angles by smaller streets. These divided cities these divided the cities into rectangular blocks or grids. The streets were often paved with bricks. This was the first civilization to incorporate urban sanitation systems. Personal hygiene seems to have been an important component of their lives. Expansion of trade. They have far flung trade contacts. Their trade networks stretch from Mesopotamia to northern, central, and even southern India. Script. The script found on seal and tablets is pictographic. This means that the script is in the form of pictures in which each letter stands on some idea or object. More importantly, it shows that the people have developed the art of writing, but the script has not been deciphered yet. Observe figure 6.13, inscription of 10 characters from the Dholavira. Reasons for decline. Indus Saraswati civilization began to decline around 1900 BCE. People left the cities in large numbers. The remaining ones adopted a rural lifestyle and scattered over many small rural settlements. Archaeologists agree upon two major reasons that may have led to the decline of the Indus Saraswati civilization. First, climate changed from 2200 BCE onward, causing reduced rainfall. This change is said to have affected much of the world. Reduction in rainfall would have affected agriculture and reduced food supply to the cities. Drying up of the Saraswati River would have caused drought-like conditions, and therefore cities such as Kalibangan or Banavali were abandoned. There could be some other factors also, such as natural disasters like earthquakes, floods, and overexploiting of resources. Let's revise the chapter with a small recap. The Indus Saraswati civilization is also known as the Harappan civilization because Harappa was the first city to be discovered. Town planning is one of the most unique features of the Indus Saraswati civilization. Harappan society was probably classified into classes. People wore agriculture and woolen garments, and both men and women wore ornaments. Agriculture seems to be the most important occupation. The main crops produced were wheat, barley, rice, and millet. The Indus Saraswati civilization people were skilled craftspersons and excellent potters. They traded both within and outside the civilization. Seals have been discovered which must have been used for trade. The people worshipped a mother goddess and a deity resembling Shiv. The civilization eventually declined, probably because of climatic and environmental changes. People returned to a rural lifestyle. So, in this chapter, we studied about the civilization, the Indus Saraswati civilization, the main features of the civilization, the achievements, and the reasons for decline. Till then, stay tuned, stay positive. Bye.